Hello everyone, and welcome to Melancholy Mentor, where classic literature meets the vibrant world of radio plays. I'm Fran, and I'm joined by Evan from Mystery Mythos. Together, we're your guides on this creative journey. During each episode, we'll dive into stories featured on the Melancholy Mentor channel, allowing fresh ideas to flourish, inspiring you to dream big and unlock your creative potential. Get comfy, open your mind, and embrace curiosity. Let's get started.
Hello. Yeah.
Right. So thank you for joining us. So I'm Fran.
And I'm Evan.
We're going to delve into our first, let me move my mic a little bit, our first episode on the Melancholy Mentor channel, which is The Telltale Heart.
Yes.
So The Telltale Heart was written by Edgar Allan Poe. We're just going to fill in a few kind of details that I've looked up and then have a chat about it. So Edgar Allan Poe was born in 1809. He comes from Boston, Massachusetts. So we're based in the UK. Edgar Allan Poe's a American, or was an American. We're just going to brush on this lightly. He married his first cousin, Virginia. I think her name was Virginia Eliza Poe, when she was 13 and he was 27. There's a lot of kind of writings on this and historian stuff saying like, you know, it was like a nurturing relationship, or it's like, we're going to leave that alone. Okay?
Yeah.
So make of that what you will, or look it up for yourself. We're just gonna go past that because I'm not delving into that. Unfortunately, Virginia passed away at the age of 24. She had tuberculosis. And I don't know whether it's a fact or whether this is like just an assumption, that I think it was Masque of the Red Death was written by Edgar Allan Poe. And it's meant to be I don't know whether inspired is the right word, but due to Virginia's death of tuberculosis. So, you know, there are kind of thoughts as to that was the reasoning behind him writing that. So Edgar Allan Poe was a writer, an editor, and a literary critic. That's not easy to say.
No.
You have a go, Evan.
Literary.
Yeah, I think you do that better
Critic.
than me. And he wrote short stories. And apparently he's credited with contributing to the emergence of science fiction.
Yeah.
Did you realise that? Because
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I don't know quite how I feel about that. So Sophia was born 1809. He died at the age of 40. And we're going to get to that in a minute. So he's 40, 80, so it's 1809 to 1849. So I'm just going to say that again. So apparently he's credited with contributing to the emergence of science fiction. So
yeah, I did know, because I've got a couple of books, and one of them's like horror that he wrote, like it's just a short book, and the other one's science fiction. So
yeah, and so that's when was that? Any idea when that was written?
I don't
Look it
know.
up, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
because
it's pretty old.
didn't know about that. The Telltale Heart, which is a short story that he wrote, I'm not sure when he wrote it. So this was, and I don't know whether this is actually his theory. So I presume this is his theory of literary theory of unity of effect. So this unity of effect is a theory that states that short stories should have an overall effect and be read in one setting.
Yeah.
So, and he kind of wrote The Telltale Heart based on that. And it kind of it's based on that theory. So that sounds quite a brainy thing to be thinking about. So I hope it's true. Telltale Heart explores themes of love and hate, it symbolizes the narrator's guilt.
Hmm.
Um, and the Telltale Heart is actually my favorite Poe story.
Yeah.
And on various occasions over the years, I've actually had things that I've done online and stuff like that, and I've called myself Telltale Heart. So if
Yeah, it's
anyone's
cool.
seen that around, it may have been me, or it may
Yeah.
not have been. You will never know. Um,
Love that.
I know, I know. I feel like because back in the day, I used to be on CB radio. So, like
Mm.
in 1980, I started on CB radio, which is Citizens Band Radio in the UK. So, well, obviously they had it in other countries as well, but I'm in the UK. So I used to put like a little mag mount on my dad's car. It was an old Vauxhall Victor, and sit with a rig in the car. And I kind of wish I'd called myself Telltale Heart then and just started, you know,
Yeah.
at that age as I meant to go on. But I kind of discovered Poe a little later than that.
Yeah.
But there are, yeah, there may well be something out there, and it's me, but you'll never know.
It's a cool name, isn't it, though?
I know, I really
Like
like it.
standalone. If you didn't know what the story was, even, I think it sounds cool.
Yeah, and I think possibly the Raven and that was the first stuff that I delved into, but the Telltale Heart really resonated with me. Like
Hmm.
it's just such a an immense story that's really gripping.
Yeah.
Mm. Now there are adaptations of the Telltale Heart that are actually voiced by Vincent Price.
That's,
Um, he's one of my favorite actors. So Vincent Price was a great admirer of Edgar Allan Poe's works. And
yeah.
his lifespan, Vincent Price's lifespan, is 1911 to 1990, which just blows my mind that somebody that, I hold in great esteem and, the acting and his voiceover work and stuff like that. He actually
Yeah.
passed in the 90s. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. It's like I
Yeah.
feel like it's like he's an old soul or something. But yeah, he was actually 82 when he
Oh,
passed.
crikey.
Yeah, he was 82. Um, I looked this up and it said lung cancer, and he'd had health conditions such as Parkinson's and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I have a thing about looking up um what people died of.
Yeah. I
And it's
always go
pure
with that.
curiosity.
Yeah.
Like I've got a thing about like how tall were they though? And
Yeah.
how did they die?
How did they die?
All a bit random, but anyway, they're like the things that come into my mind when I think about it.
Mm.
Um, right, so let's delve into a little bit of Poe's death. Have you ever looked into what Poe died of?
I think I looked a long time back and now I can't remember. But did he die? Did he die outside or something?
He was found outside.
Yeah. So I remember that. I remember it was outside. But I can't remember what he died of. No. I can remember where he was.
Yeah, that he was outside. So he was
Yeah.
found in 1849. So he died at the age of 40. Um, he was found semi-conscious. And I've read about this before, and I've read different reports on this, and they're all
Yeah.
like very, very similar and equally bizarre. So he was found semi-conscious in Baltimore, which is someplace in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wasn't wearing his own clothes.
Right.
How do they know he wasn't wearing his own clothes?
No idea. Maybe that's somebody else's name in them. Or maybe they were way too big for him and not something he would have worn. I don't know.
No idea. And apparently, there are various reports stating that he was calling out the name Reynolds or saying the word. Now, is that just assumed that it's a name because it could have just been the word Reynolds, or
Yeah. Yeah.
he was calling out the name Reynolds? Um, his final words, and again, I don't know whether this is allegedly or, but there are reports on this as well, several things that I found on the good old internet, that his final words were, Lord, help my poor soul.
Crikey.
I know.
Yeah.
What was he doing? Was he on a park bench or something?
In my head, I've got him lying on a bench, but That's the
May well,
image I
yeah,
had
because
when I said outside. I've got him lying on a bench, but I don't know.
yeah, he may well have been found on a bench. So in a
Yeah,
semi-conscious state. So was he possibly psychotic or
yeah,
had a substance or, was
yeah.
this? I mean, I think it's all sounds very suspicious.
Me too.
Like a lot of mystery surrounding that, like it's quite bizarre, isn't it? And think that he was like the absolute kind of writer of the macabre and that really gothic literature and stuff like that. And then he
Mm.
died in very mysterious circumstances,
Yeah,
mm, which is very interesting.
yeah,
Um, and also, I found out this as well. I don't know why I'm laughing. Um, newspaper. It's because it just sounds so ridiculous. Newspapers at the time apparently reported it as congestion of the brain.
right. Yeah.
What does that mean? Congestion of the brain?
Maybe he'd gone mad.
I don't know. Congestion of the brain. So what's that like a block or
Yeah. Did they, don't know, did they see something?
I don't know.
Like,
Maybe, just maybe it was some kind of melancholy. How about that?
yeah, I mean, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff that you wrote, it was very kind of graphic and gothic and
Really was,
very
wasn't
kind
it?
of melancholy based, wasn't it?
Mm, yeah.
So I feel like it's quite different to a lot of the historic deaths that you read because quite often they say consumption. If that,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real popular word, isn't it?
I know, especially within classic literature, you're kind of
Yeah.
reading it and then some heroine or other, and it's like they passed from consumption. I'm like, what does that mean? But anyway, so thank you for joining us on this little chat about Edgar Allan Poe and the Telltale Heart, which is one of the episodes that we've got on our YouTube channel. So take a listen to that and we'll be back soon. Bye.
Bye.